What do you mean got getting to left feet? Shooting me glares from the passenger seat. Come on, baby, we got all dressed up. Won't you dance with me?
It's a beautiful Monday morning out here in Zimbabwe. You can already see we are more like at the farm, yes sir, and the horse right in the background right over there looking absolutely good. They're just eating, and yeah, it's a beautiful day. We're about to go horseback riding right now. You don't know what it is. We're out here. It's so beautiful actually, the canoes, everything, and then we have the horses right over here. Absolutely gorgeous. I have just entered into a gold trade and I have been monitoring it for the last 2 hours since the market opened, and the market hasn't really moved that much, so I gave it as a limit order in the circle, such that if it drops from the point where I entered, we'll get a better entry with the entire team. But for now, this is kind of like a risky trade, which is why I'm taking it alone. Let's just see how this plays out after a few hours of riding the horses here. Okay, I am set and ready to go for just like 30 minutes or so. Then we are back. How do I open each Chinese? Ndiri kutya kani awufane kuti ati
ngifuna ngokuthi izinenge imboved ukuthi izinto ukuthi siye mina kusho mina
oh
but singathi sekuride anti
andisikuda ungodona ke.
My new bitch look like Tyler Perry, but she don't love me, she too scary. My old bitch fun like Jackie Brown. I wanna love but she too down. Will you be my leading lady? I want a contract, girl, no maybe. In the meantime,
You guys, we are currently in our gold trade and it is pretty much sitting at break even right now. So yeah, that is one thing that is crazy. Gold has decided it doesn't want to move, but we're looking forward to it moving during New York, which is going to open in the next it's opening in the next 9 minutes. So I guess we'll see a bit of volatility and hopefully our first take profit would get hit right over here. It missed it with just like a few pips, but yeah, it almost neared our first take profit, and then we hold it throughout to the second and the third take profit. So yeah, let's go. A beautiful Wednesday. As you can see, we are currently running plus $7,000 in profit on our US 30 trade. Also on NASDAQ with the entire inner circle, as you can see right over here. Yes, we just hit 500 pips on this particular trade. So I told them to take partial profit, stop loss at break even on one trade that is remaining, and then we're going to hold this trade till our final take profit. So technically this trade is risk free right now. Our stop loss on one remaining trade is right inside the entry, and everything else is just moving smoothly. I've also given them a trade on gold. As you can see here, we have a limit order on gold, which is this one, and I am waiting for that to get triggered. Let me just see on XAUUSD, as you can see, and the market looks like it's coming right down to that level, which is really good. And the analysis behind that is we had a simple breakout of this trend line that you're seeing here, so we want to catch the little retest at a support area and jump into the trade. How I caught this trade on the NASDAQ, absolutely beautiful. I had explained this whole trade to everyone during the weekly analysis as usual. Most of my trades I explained them to you guys, and they always just play out just the way they're supposed to. If they don't play out, you guys always know that also again. But I did say that we had money resting over here in these levels here, and for that reason we had broken out of this area. It was right at the spot such that you could have jumped right into the trade so that the market can wipe out the money that was resting here. The market always moves in the direction where there is a chance of taking out retail traders. So because of that reason, I already knew that this zone here was a liquidity zone that the market had created. You can see that point of equal highs that you're seeing there, and it was absolutely good. Then we had a little range in the zone. After we broke out, we just waited, we jumped right into the trade, here, and we caught this beautiful movement, which is absolutely good. But today I am just actually chilling, nothing much happening for today in the market. As you can see, we are fluctuating on that particular trade, and I am starting, wow, this is not really my book, this is my friend's book that I got for her, but then yeah, it's actually really interesting. But the title, I haven't really read that. I think she will enjoy it. She has read another one, but I'm just chilling out here monitoring the trade. As you can see right over there, I'm trying to go to a different city right now here in Harare, and obviously my water, I did have a cappuccino again, but I'm done right now, so just waiting for the guys that I'm waiting for. After they come, then we're going to actually just leave. But for now, this is exactly what is happening on our trade. Absolutely beautiful. Let's see where this market takes us. Okay, good morning you guys. It's a beautiful Thursday. Okay, you guys can't see me, but anyway, yeah, it's a beautiful Thursday. Come on, focus. Ugh. Okay, that makes more sense. Good morning, good people. How you guys doing? It's a beautiful Thursday. Well, technically beautiful, but it is raining outside. I just woke up and I'm still in bed, and I was like, let me actually talk to you guys for a minute, because you know this week has been actually really nice. I was just looking at the beautiful trade that we had. We closed off at full take profit on the NASDAQ. This hasn't happened to us in a while. I mean, we catch quite the decent number of pips, but then to actually have a trade playing out with full take profit is actually really beautiful. I haven't had that type of trade in a long time, and me, I am not scared to admit it, because that's exactly what trading is all about. I can have the first take profit, the second take profit, and then we can get to like 500 pips, 600 pips, thereabout. Then the market just reverses. We end up just getting taken out with stop loss, probably a break even. But then getting a trade that just goes out to play out the entire thing at full take profit, that is, you know, a worthy cause of celebration. So I am in an absolutely good mood today. And I also know that a lot of people are complaining that, you know, the market is not yet clear, everything, you know, but meanwhile, we're just simply executing. I don't want to hesitate on my setups at all, you know. So I was literally just updating the inner circle right now. We've just taken full take profits on that trade on the NASDAQ, and this is why I always say that, guys, you need a system. If you don't have a trading system, you absolutely need it. You never just jump into the market by guessing. You have to see your setup. You have to see exactly what it says, execute it according to the way it says, and then let the trade play out according to the rules that you have set it up. And then, do you know the craziest part is, it's not even just me in this particular trade. Minus the entire inner circle, we have the entire platinum, CTG Platinum group, and the entire silver group on this trade. Because every single Monday, I have a live session with these guys, and then on Friday also with the other guys. So it's just the same charts, the same markets, same setups, everything. And these people, including myself, are just catching the exact same moves. And I also expect that you guys, after watching the weekly analysis, to be able to also spot out these moves, because, you know, they're just playing out really beautiful. And I'm saying this because I know if it was just me saying, you guys, look at what I caught, it would be a different story, right? You guys would be like, maybe it's just luck. But then when multiple people are seeing the exact same thing, it's not even a signal, right? Forget the inner circle. Inner circle is getting signals, but if the entire mentorship group is seeing the exact same thing, then we're executing the exact same way, then that is what we call a system. And even last week, right, the last week trade was actually just as crazy. That one was like around $12,000 on one single trade on US30. I think these two past weeks have been the best weeks of this particular year, right? We haven't had really clean weeks like these ones. And that's the thing, right? I think most traders don't understand that yet, that money comes when you stop chasing it. Just the same as a setup, it comes when you stop chasing it. Everything about trading, you don't have to force, you don't have to chase, you just have to wait, be patient, and be selective with your trades. You actually trust what you're doing. But anyway, that's said and done. I'm coming. But anyway, that's said and done. Outside of trading, it is raining today. Like I said, it's fully raining, right? And my little brother wants to go out to play. So apparently we are going quad biking in the mud, in the rain, right? I don't even know how that's going to go, but yeah, let's just see. If anything else that is interesting happens on the charts, I'll let you guys know. But let's go and have some fun in Harare. About to go onto the tracks with these bikes. But that is so crazy though. Yeah, we're out here in the bush, in the middle of nowhere, as As you can see, my little brother right over there having a good time. It's so crazy. The market is open right now, but yeah, it is what it is. I'm not checking the chart. Gold hits up first, and I'll take a big profit. So that is cool. Well, I'm not going. Guys, look at what my brother is deciding to do there. Good. Yeah, now start walking. Yeah. We just finished. Well, he just finished doing that crazy stuff that he's been doing. In the meantime, we're running a crazy profit on US30, and my hair is wet. We actually went on some bikes and all that. We did archery, all that. Now we better go find some food and all that. You know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, nothing interesting is happening on the chart. So for that reason, I got nothing to show for now. But anyway, see you guys when something interesting is happening. Let's go. This is why you should stop using indicators to trade. Don't use indicators. If you want to get movements like this, don't use indicators. Right now, a lot of people were saying that this market was overbought right at the zone because we had all-time highs, but look at what we just did to it. I actually gave this trade right over here in the morning, as you can see at that level right over there. This is a trade playing out. Forget this one. This one was a beautiful trade. We had it right over here again. You guys see, this was a beautiful trade, but forget that one. Let's talk about this one, right? Let's talk about that one. Absolutely beautiful. Overbought, oversold, that doesn't exist. If you're using price action, absolutely good way to close off the week on a Friday. Let's go. Okay, what is up, you guys? It's a beautiful Sunday, and I'm just coming from church, and I haven't done the weekly analysis. I know. I'm about to do it right now, and I'm supposed to upload in the next 3 hours or so, but I haven't actually done the weekly analysis. I'm about to do it right now. I mean, even though we had an absolutely great time in the house of the Lord, you know how it is. But if you haven't gone to church, or if you did not go to church today, I mean, try and go to church on Sunday. Maybe that is why you are hitting stop loss. I'm just joking. Or am I really? But anyway, let's just dive right into it. We had an absolutely beautiful week, you guys. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, these past 2 weeks have been amazing. Really, really good. You saw last week we had an absolutely beautiful trade on US30, running in crazy profit. This week, though, was not a Thetan $12,000 trade, but it was an absolutely good one in the sense that we hit full take profit. As you can see, this is the type of trade that we had on the NASDAQ. It was very productive, very calm, but it was also adventurous. I mean, you've been seeing the vlog, right? So I guess that tells you that we were actually very, very busy. And if you can't tell, my voice has fully recovered. Thank you so much for the get well soon messages. I was reading all of them and definitely responding. Right now, I don't have a flu. I am perfectly fine and really, really healthy. But in overall, the week was very good. On Friday, we actually caught another beautiful trade on the NASDAQ, which is this one that you're seeing right over here. It was a clean trade, nothing crazy, just the same story. Even though everyone is saying that the market is really crazy. I told you guys when we saw that bullish momentum at the beginning of, if you go on the NASDAQ chart right at the beginning there, when we're starting to see the buyers stepping in, I told you guys that we're about to have a really great time trading, and this is exactly what I meant, right? We're going to be just catching clean movements because the market has decided that it is moving up to the top. The buyers have declared their move, and we want to always join them as they do that, right? And this is why I keep saying that once you have a system, the market does not need to be perfect. It doesn't even need to be anything at all, because at the end of the day, what I understand is anything can in fact happen in the market at any time. So I don't expect to win the particular trade that I'm in. I expect to be able to execute it properly according to my rules and to be able to ride it whilst at the same time taking profit off of the table and utilizing the entire movement to its full potential. But anyway, this particular NASDAQ trade that we then took with the inner circle, the last one before the market closed, we had something like 320 pips. Absolutely beautiful, right? 320 pips on that one. I told them to take partial profits on it. Why? Because we will hold one trade with the initial stop loss. We held it through the weekend. The market is opening in a few hours, and I know that, you know, well, I don't know what the market will do, but then we're looking forward to the market continuing with that upward push. I'll explain everything as I do the weekly analysis, and this particular NASDAQ trade, I'll explain it to you guys. It's a perfect example that we don't force anything, especially as we were at the all-time highs, right? Nothing complicated, just level, trend, and trigger. This is my 3-step system that I actually use. So without wasting so much time, let's just dive. I won't even check news. I won't open the economic calendar, but if you want to check news, just go on to investing.com and click on your economic calendar there. You'll see it, and just look at the news and tell us in the comments what is happening. I know it's going to be a good week and it's going to be volatile as usual, right? So that's about it. Let's go over right onto the chart. All right, you guys, we're going to start off with this NASDAQ trade that you're seeing right over here. So this was our full trade, really beautiful. And then this is the next trade that we took on Friday, also really beautiful. Now notice I traded this right at the all-time highs. Now the analysis behind this is very simple. When we get to this zone, ask yourself as a beginner trader, or a lot of beginner traders right now as they are watching this video, what did you think? You thought that the market was overbought or oversold. That's what I was saying in the other video. Then you decided to jump into the trade right at the spot, put your stop loss right at this level, and then it tanked down. Right, that's what you were thinking was going to happen, but no, they normally don't do that. They want to just take out those stop losses at the zone and they just ride it up to the top. So there's nothing extra that I use to analyze this particular setup. The only thing I wanted to see is when the buyers had stepped in, and after that I jumped into the trade. So when I saw that the buyers that stepped in was with this candlestick right over here. So obviously we had the momentum push that we had to the top. It got to our resistance zone. The market started playing around with indecision. The sellers tried to step in. The buyers declared their movement that they are still definitely in control. As soon as I saw this candlestick forming, I had to wait for another bullish candle. As soon as it formed, I jumped right into the trade. And then this is exactly how we ended up catching that trade on the NASDAQ. Now, the reason why I told the inner circle to hold this trade over the weekend is because you can see we're at all-time highs right now. We don't have a point of reference anymore, right? We don't have a resistance zone that we are facing at the top here. This is just going to be as far as the market can push, right? As far as it can go, right? So before we can get another trade on the NASDAQ, for those that are not in the trade, you have to wait for it to come back to retest these all-time highs, see if it can hold the retest here. And then if you haven't watched the particular video that I made, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, go and actually watch it, where I was talking about the systems, right? How to trade using price action. When the buyers or the sellers that are disappointed in these levels come back, right, they're going to put more buying pressure in this area. That is why you always want to trade at the retest, right? So for that reason, if you're not in the trade, that's the only thing you have to wait for. Wait for it to come back to another spot where you can just jump in. Right now, you can't just jump in at any random point because you don't have a valid stop loss level, right? Let's see if we can go onto a lower time frame and see if we can get anything good for that. No, there's nothing that we can get on the NASDAQ for now. We just have to wait for it to come to these levels for those people that are not in the particular trade. As for us, we are holding it, one trade that we're holding here with our stop loss right at the zone, and then we're going to wait to ride it up to the top. The next thing that you can do, or the other thing that you can do instead, right, is to wait for it to come here. So notice the market keeps forming new resistance levels, right? The only thing about this is you don't know where the next one is going to be. It can stop here, it can stop there, it can even just keep shooting, or it can just give you one pip and then go back down. But if we break out of this resistance that it just formed, this particular area just turns into support. Then you just have to put your stop loss right below the zone and then ride the trade to as far as it can go. I don't like that particular setup because I'm saying we don't have levels here. That's the only reason why I wouldn't advise to do that. So just wait for it to come back. You'll get a good trade. Be patient. Let's go over onto US30. Just look at how the market just kept pushing up to the top and just going up, flying for the entire week, right? Now on US30, I was supposed to actually get a trade around about this area here. And then for some reason, I kept convincing myself that, you know, we are at a spot that if I was a seller, I would have probably sold right in this area here and I would have taken a loss on USD. You see, as the seller was trying to step in here, I was just like, nah, it's kind of like hectic for me. I don't want to just jump into the trade. So I ended up leaving that trade entirely, and then it just showed up to the top. So let's see what we can do on USD. Let's see what is happening. So USD is also trying to approach the all-time highs. If you cannot see that, right, you can see how the buyers are declaring their move on USD and want to mark up those levels, right? So we have a resistance zone right at the spot, and then we have another one which is right at the all-time highs. We have just tested the first one right here, as you can see, and then the sellers do want to show their power, right? So we would expect it to push down a little bit, but then if the buyers want to keep maintaining this movement, we need to see another candle pushing out of this zone. So if we use that candle to break out of this area, there's a high chance we'll now go up to the stop and break out again. So your entry point, you want it to be somewhere in this particular zone, right? Or if we decide to just, you know, reject from the zone, we're going to go back to another support area, which is right at this area. And then that would be your next point of interest. So in this zone, remember, this was the resistance. We broke out of it. We turned it into support. So we'd wait for the market to come in the zone. If it fails to break here and just comes back here, then we are buying from a support area. That is a good thing. I would stop loss right below this level and then want to ride it up to the top again. So those are the two things that I would be looking to do on USD. If the market breaks out, there's a high chance it will just come and break out of the zone though, because of exactly what the NASDAQ did. But then we don't want to, you know, say what the market is not saying. We just have to wait for it to actually say what it wants to say, right? Also, I hope you guys utilize the gaps that we had on Monday. As soon as the market opens, you already know that if we open with a gap, we need to close the gap, and then the market, we use the gap as a point of interest. You see that, right? So if you saw the market closing the gap here, you should have just known that there's a high chance it will just continue going back up to the top, right? So for this zone here, this will probably be the next support area. So we're saying that we want to see the market coming to this zone right over here, breaking out of this area. Of course, we break up, we get a retest. It can be right at the support area, or it can come back and then now be at the trend line. Either way, we just want to catch the trade from these zones. This particular zone, these are the two entry points that we're looking at. If it comes back down, we catch it with price action after we see good buyers stepping in here. If we break out with a momentum candlestick, what a wait for it to retest in the zone. Then we ride it up to the top. This is a straightforward bias, because at the end of the day, you know, the market will do what it wants. So you can never know the next movement of the market, but then you can anticipate what it might just want to do, right? So I don't think that there's anything complicated again on USD. I see like there's a lot of potential on this particular trade. And then let's go over on to, okay, not to Bitcoin, but I want to just check it out. I want to see if, finally we have eventually broken out of, yeah, finally, you guys. I think the market does look really good. You see, we've been waiting for months, I think. Okay, not months, it's an exaggeration, but then for weeks for the market to come back and break out of this area. You can see for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, just a month and a week, right? We've been waiting for it to come and break out. Right now, it has broken out, and this is when you see a lot of people hesitating. Imagine after waiting so long for the market to do something, after it does it, then you still want to hesitate. So you might just be seeing me taking trades on Bitcoin for the next week, right? I just want to still wait to see if the buyers have fully decided to step into this market, or, you know, they're still kind of being shaky. But then overall, this is my confirmation that I needed. I would want to just see it riding up to the top. I'll just need an entry point, and let me see if I can even just get an entry point right now for those that like to trade Bitcoin. Maybe you can just also trade it with me, because definitely this particular week, I might just be getting a beautiful trade on it, and I will show you guys as that progresses. So we have our trend line there. You can see the market has been respecting it. We have a support area right in this particular zone, and then where it currently is, if you notice, is a support area right here. You see, there's a support area. We were trending to the upside with this little trend. We broke out of it with good momentum. It came back and it retested. So what I want to do is I want to find an entry point within this zone here. Right, so far the buyers haven't stepped in, right? So far we just have this candlestick. It's still trying to close on the 4-hour time frame, but this candlestick doesn't tell me anything. Oh, it just closed just a few seconds ago. You can see Just a few seconds ago, it just closed, and then it's just a bullish candle, but then that doesn't tell me anything. I need to see a proper bullish confirmation candlestick right in this area. Then I'll jump into the trade. My stop loss will be right below this support zone right over here, such that the market would have room to play around in this area and respect the trend line at the same time. Then would ride it up to the top. So that might just be a first attempt for me on Bitcoin, but then let's just see how the next 4-hour candlestick plays out. I want to see the buyers stepping in very decisively. Right, so let's go over onto gold. Let's see what gold is saying. Okay, so I already had analysis on gold. Doesn't look really bad either, but let me just delete everything so we can reanalyze. So on gold, we do have 1-2 touches that gives us a trend line, more than enough. We also have a trend within that trend, because this particular one is far away from our current market price. So we want to see what is happening there. Even though this one has been utilized, still we don't need it anymore. Then we just need our resistance zone, which is right at this point. Why? Because you can see the market gets to the zone and gets rejected. It gets there rejected. Right now it is playing around at the zone. On this daily time frame, what I would like to call this is kind of like a consolidation. You can see what's happening there. That's a consolidation, and it's happening way at a resistance zone. When you see that the market normally breaks out in the direction of the overall trend, you can already see also on the 4-hour time frame. This is such a big bullish momentum candlestick, showing us that the buyers are definitely just stepping in. Look at how it's maintaining structure. You see we're at a high. This high is higher than this one. This one is higher than this one. And then the lows, we have these ones. They are higher than the previous ones. So it is still maintaining its structure. The only thing that I would want to see it do right now to have a full confirmation is for it to break out of this particular area here. This kind of like candlestick, right? You normally know that institutions are playing around at that zone. So you want to see it breaking out of the zone. So when gold opens, let's see it breaking out of this area. Then obviously, as we look for more entry points, that would now be at the support zones, right? So we break out. Let me just draw it again. So we break out of this area. We come and look for support in these particular zones. Right, then we want to ride it up to the top, because it shouldn't just break out of these lows, right? It should maintain that. If it now breaks out of those lows, it is disrespecting the structure that it has just put in. So that's the thing that we want to see on gold, for it to maintain the structure that it has, and then for it to push up to the top. You already know that the next level that we will be targeting is going to be the trend line that it has right at this spot right over there. So we break out, we come back to a support area, or we just start by coming back here, we break out, we ride it up. We want to see it right at the zone, going to the next support area. Wow. All right, so I don't think anything is complicated on these charts at all. Everything looks really, really good, and I think we're ready to actually make money for this particular week. Okay, yes, that's about it. Nothing complicated as usual. I'm always saying nothing complicated because nothing is in fact complicated on these charts. Just follow exactly what we said, wait for the levels, and execute the market as it presents itself. Don't try and force anything or look for things that are not there or what the market is not saying. But without wasting so much time, if you did enjoy the video and you found the breakdown helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, turn your post notifications, and subscribe to the channel. You follow me with that. It's been Tino, and I'll see you guys in the next lit video. Love you guys.